session we learned about arithmetic operators, how we can use them. So we are learning about operators, and in that we learned arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators, one example, have you tried that exercise? Able to design that EMI calculator, right? Have you submitted? Anyone submitted into class? EMI calculator, anyone submitted into class? Huh? You submit your work so that I will check once. Able to achieve it? Huh? EMI calculator. I already given you design. Huh? Right. Now I given an idea of design. So you try one more thing. You search for BMI calculator and you design it. BMI calculator. I am not giving any idea, right? Just only one point. BMI calculator is body mass calculator. Every hospital health websites have this BMI calculator. That means you give your height. In your mobiles also you have. You give your height and weight, and it will show you how many calories you need to burn, everything. For that also you have a formula, right? Let's see how much creative you are, and you can design a BMI calculator for a health website. That means your own. Now, no, I am not even given any idea of how it looks like, right? I am not even giving the idea of how it looks like. You have to design a good attractive BMI calculator. Good attractive BMI calculator. Very basic level BMI calculators also will be there, right? Attractive, like it will show the entire statistics, like per day how much calories you need to burn, what you have to do. All such options means you are overweighted according to height and weight, so or normal or less. It will display all of that. For that you have formulas also. So you try this BMI calculator by your own, right? So that if you can do it, then it's very good. That means now you are little bit more creative with your own ideas, right? There are so many online BMI calculators, but pick up one good one, try to design that, right? These are very common these days. Even in mobile applications, health websites, health apps, everywhere you will find this BMI calculator. That is one task for you. You try. Next, after understanding operators, arithmetic operators, now we have another category. We have comparison operators. We have comparison operators. Comparison operators. Comparison operators actually some important operators you need to know. Actually we have double equal, this is equal, and we have triple equal. This is identical equal. Identical equal. We have not equal, and we have not identical. Not identical. So not identical. Not equal is simple one option. Not equal. This is not identical. Not identical. and you have greater than, so greater than or equal, and less than, so lesser than or equal. These are the basic comparison operators. Greater than or equal, lesser than, less than or equal. These are very common things you already know. Not equal. One difference you need to understand here. So what is new in this is equal and identical equal. Actually, that is only the difference actually. Others you can easily implement and use it. So one is you have equal. Double equal is nothing but, so it can compare values of two different types. It can compare values of two different types and return Boolean true or false. Boolean true or false. So it can compare and it can return Boolean true or false. So here, suppose we have 10 is equal to 10. Actually, both are not same type. One is number type, another one is string type. But what double equal can do is it can compare both. And already I told you, it can implicitly convert also. Any number defined in quotes, it can internally convert that into number and compare. So in that case, this will be true. That will be true. That means even the data type is different, it is able to compare by internally converting the number string to number. But triple equal, so it can compare values of same type. Values of same type. Any other type will always return false. Any other type will always return false. Will always return false. That means if I define 10 triple equal to 10, this is false now. Why? Because it can compare only same type. It will be true. So both are string type. So then it will be true. Any other thing will be false. That means if data type is not matching, it will return false. So that is one important, because generally problem with HTML JavaScript combination is, in HTML, whatever values you enter, they will be treated as string type. And those string type values are directly used sometimes, are compared, are converted and used sometimes. If you don't convert, then even though you don't convert, it can internally convert and use it. Such as I given, like in double quote 10 is a string, which will internally convert and it will verify. For example, you can see the output, what it does. Right. So, yeah, I will just add this here. Operator is anything available, right? Compare.html. Let's add one script here. Right. I'm adding a simple script, and here var x equal to 10, var y is equal to 10. Both are different data types, and document dot write. So x equal to y, and usually double equal, it is going to return true, because it can implicitly convert this string and it will return. But if I use this triple equal, it will not compare. That means it will not try to internally convert it. So it will compare only both are same data types. If it is different data type, always it is going to return false. It is always false. So it will not internally convert. It will directly compare. Without conversion, if you want to compare, so you use triple equal. Mostly in JavaScript based environment, if you are expecting comparison, better always use this triple equal rather than double equal. Double equal we use only when we are expecting a different type of value. Same type, then always use this equal, right? Later in some examples we will implement that. First we are just learning those operators. In different examples we can implement. We will run conditions, iterations and all. We can implement them in example. So what is difference between double equal, triple equal? This is the condition. Same, we have a not equal, and same, it is to compare different types. And not sorry, this is not equal, one not identical. It is to compare same type. It is to compare same type. So that is comparison. That means if I say 10 is not equal to 10, it will be true because it is not equal. If 10 is not equal to 10, then it will be false because it is equal. It can compare that. So no need to tell greater than, less than and all. They are already same things. And we can use in various validations later. Greater than, less than, greater than or equal, less than or equal. These are all comparison operators. Now this is comparison operators, something new you have to know. Others, nothing special. Greater than or equal, less than or equal. These are very common things. We will use in different examples later. Next, another important operators, assignment operators. Assignment operators. Assignment operators, we have plus, equal, add and assign, minus, equal, subtract and assign, subtract and assign, and asterisk equal, multiply and assign, multiply and assign, slash equal, divide and assign, modulus equal, modulus and assign. So these are all assignment operators. Double asterisk, that is also, that means exponent and assign. These are all assignment operators. Already we used them. If you remembered, in KFC form, we already used it. Right? Already when we worked and designed KFC form, we used plus equal and all. Similarly, others also you will use. Already we used, if you remembered, we have amount, right? We calculate meal cost, right? Meal cost is equal to meal cost plus equal to, you can write meal cost plus equal to, what is it? Add-on cost, add-on cost. So you can write it like this. That means what is this meaning? Meal cost. So meal cost is equal to meal cost plus add-on cost. That is how we have to define add-on cost plus equal, right? Already we implemented this in various example already. That means actually plus equal, you can simply configure like this, right? So this instead of writing all this, you can simply add plus equal. So plus equal, minus equal, multiply equal, these are all assignment related operators. These also simple, we will use in later examples and implement them, because we cannot use operators correctly until or unless we know statements. We will learn statements and we will use these assignment operators, arithmetic operators and all other options, how to use them. Next, after understanding the assignment operator, I think in the beginning, one more example I given, if you remember, we learned create new folder. Create new folder, that means what we have done, plus equal folder name. That is the example we tried in the first example when I told you about prompt input. When we discussed about input, we learned about prompt input, adding folder names example. We used that plus equal. If I use equal, what will happen? It will add only the recent one. If we don't want to remove the previous, keep the previous and add the new. In that we have to use plus equal. These are assignment operators. We will use in different examples later with our statements. We will see them. All right. Now, very important here in the operators, you have to know very detailedly is about special operators. Special operators. We need to know about special operators. What are the special operators and how to handle them? Actually, in JavaScript, the special operators, one, we have a ternary operator. Ternary operator. Ternary operator is a question mark colon. Question mark colon is ternary operator. So already we discussed a point that these ternary operators are used for handling simple conditions. They use three operands. Syntactically, a ternary operator handles three operands. So 3 operands syntactically like this: a condition and a statement if true, and a statement if false, like this. Statement if true, statement if false. Actually, it is similar to if condition and statement if true, and else statement if false, else statement if false. It is similar to this. We use in a shorthand way. In a shorthand way, it is written in this. So condition, statement if true, statement if false. Now we use this in various occasions for simplifying the logic actually. Let's try one small example. So how it is very often used, and you must know very regularly to use this kind of things. So for example, let's say here I am adding a doc type HTML, head and title, and here, so I will say special operator. Let's link a relation, style sheet, href, and node bootstrap, this the css bootstrap.css. Okay, and in the body section, so we have a container fluid, and in this we will keep a div. In that we have a button. So in the button we will display preview, show preview. Here we are defining show preview. Here below this we have another div, and in this we have a image, source and public images, some speaker JPG, width and height. Now what is our intention is, so in this, when I click on show preview button, BTN and BTN primary, first it should be like hide preview. It should be like hide preview. Now when I click on hide preview, this should hide. When it is hidden, then the button text must be show preview. That means in hidden state, button title should be different. In display state, it should be different. Button should change its value. Button should change its value. That means the button text should change. It's your wish. You want to change entire text, or you want to change only this word hide or show. So here you can change entire sentence, or you can keep any specific. For example, first I will show you how it can toggle, how it can work. First point, remember, button is only one. but it should work in two ways. Once click hide, again click same button show. That means show and hide should be handled with only one button. That means now the question is, can you write two events for one button? Two functionalities. Actually, if anybody asks, can I write multiple events for one element? You can. One element can have multiple events, but not same event multiple times. Not same event multiple times. That what does that means? That means actually button can have on click some work, on mouse over some other work, on mouse out some other work. These are several events. On every event it can do different things, but it cannot have on click and again on click. So this is invalid. So this is valid. This is valid. In that case, on click only I want two tasks. One is hidden, another one is showing. On click only I want two different tasks. So here different events can be used for element, but same event cannot be used multiple times. It's not possible. Then how do you manage two times? How do you know that you clicked first time or second time? Right? That is very important, right? In many interviews, they ask this task as, they ask that in frequently asked interview questions, they ask like design a toggle button. What is meant by toggle button? They ask to design a toggle button. Design a toggle button means same button should do two tasks. Once click hide and another click show. So toggle means the same button on click, it have to perform different functionalities. For example, see now here, see logic is important here. So button ID as a preview, a BTN preview. Okay, BTN preview. That is BTN preview. Remember, this is a container. HTML5 buttons are containers. HTML4 buttons are not containers. We already learned in HTML. We have HTML5 button, HTML4 button. HTML4 button is input type is equal to button. If into this, if I want to display anything, then what we have to do, we have to use a property value. And if it is a button, HTML5 button, into this, if you want to display anything, then we have to use inner HTML. We have to use inner HTML because it's a container. Same like a div or a span, button is also a container. Div, span, paragraph, it is a container. So you have to use inner HTML, not value. Button will not have a value or button will not have a text. Button will have inner HTML. If it is HTML5 button, right? So now what we are doing here, see, first we will write a simple logic. Means if you want to show some text inside it, script. Yeah. So function body load. We are writing a body load function. It should fire up on load. That means body load. We will put here button text. Where button text is a variable, and we will put here as hide preview. We are using hide preview. That is the button text we are using. On body load, what we have to do, document get element by ID BTN preview dot inner HTML button text. We have to keep the button text. That means now button text will be hide preview. Now when I click the button, once click, it should say show preview. Again click, it should say hide preview. That means now we have to write button click event function preview click, right? Or we will simply say preview toggle. When this preview toggle should fire up, when user clicks this button, that means what we do here is we will write on click preview toggle. Preview toggle. This will fire up. Now what we will do here? So we will write here document get element by ID btn preview dot inner HTML. In that, what text to display, that I will decide. How to decide? We write a condition here. The condition is bt button text. If button text is equal to hide preview. If button text is equal to hide preview, then question mark indicates then it should be show preview. It should be show preview. Actually, you can directly put in inner HTML or you can put in button text. I will show you those 2 points here. See, if button text is hide preview, then we have to display the text show preview. Otherwise, we have to display the text. We have to display the text colon. Colon indicates else. Else we have to display hide preview only. If it is hide preview, then show preview. If it is show preview, then hide preview. Now you see here, I click this button once, then it says show preview. Again, click the same button, it says hide preview. It should say hide preview. That means it have to toggle again. First toggle it is working. Let's see the console here. So let's inspect here. So let's go to the console here. And you see, first I will open here. First it is hide preview. And click on this, it is saying show preview. Again, click on this, it's not working. There is no error also. There is no problem here. There is nothing displayed here. So then why the message is not displayed? Because here, one more point is that actually what we are doing, the button preview text that depends on this variable. That means this variable you have to change. That variable you have to change. That means now see here, not directly inner HTML. Here we are using button text. Button text is equal to, if button text is hide preview, change it to show preview. Otherwise, keep it to hide preview. That is the technique we are using. Let's put it in a simple way. Now, log this console.log because you are testing it. Button text, we are just testing it. Now, observe carefully in the console. Already we learned that as a developer, we have to first test the functionality using these console logs. We will do that. By default, it is hide preview. Click, then it says show preview. And when I click on it, it will be again hide preview. Again, I click on it, it will be show preview. Again, click on it, hide preview. It is alternatively changing. This alternatively changing thing should be displayed inside the button. It should be displayed inside the button. That means now it is working fine. Once click, it is saying show preview. Again, click, it is showing hide preview. Now this is assigned, and after assigning, you are assigning the new text and you are configuring. After assigning, that new value must be applied. But generally, you see here, new value should be applied means I am writing like this: document dot get element by ID. What is it? BTN preview. BTN preview dot inner HTML. Inner HTML is again button text. But this work already we are doing on body load. We are doing on body load, right? Let's see that here. That button text we are applying there. Now I click on hide preview, it will be show preview. Again click it, it is hide preview. Again click, it is show preview. That means it is toggling the preview. That means it is changing the word. That is good. That means it is working as per the requirement. Now important, as I already told you, we should not repeat this. That is the reason this functionality, what we do, this functionality, already that line is written. You should not write that line again. Already I told you, as per the standards, we follow a mechanism called DRY, D-R-Y. I told you, na? DRY means don't repeat yourself. That means you should not write a set of code again and again anywhere. So that is completely not professional, unprofessional. So how do we handle this now? I can copy this. I will remove it. I will just put here a function, toggle text. This toggle text function will have this functionality. We will call that toggle text here, right? We will call the same toggle text here. Means after changing the button text, again we will call the toggle text. It will do the same action actually. Show preview and hide preview, it will do the same. We should not rewrite the logic. We should not rewrite the logic. We have to just use the logic. Now that is working fine. So what we are doing, so we are using a simple ternary operator here. What is the ternary operator? If button text is hide preview, then set a string into it. What is the string? Show preview. If it is show preview, then change it to hide preview. It is simply like if condition true, what statement? If condition false, what statement? Now I need to apply hiding and showing on this image. Then it becomes a perfect example. Then the question, how you will show and hide that image? To show and hide this image, so then you have to use display none, display block, like effects we have to use. So I will use here, here I will use an ID as image container. Image container, okay. Now what we will show here is, so where display style, we are creating a variable display style. Display style by default I will give here as a block. Display style as block. On toggle, what should happen here is, here you are only toggling the text. Not only toggling the text, we need to toggle the block also. Image container. That means what we will do here, we will just use here document dot get element by ID. We will accept here image container dot style. Which style? Display. What should be the display text? It will be display style. Display style means block. Now what should happen here? So same. So that means display style will be block. So, and very important, this is not toggle text anymore. I will just give as toggle, because it will toggle text, it will toggle image also. It is toggling both text and image. I'm just using the word toggle. Okay. Now this display style is by default block. Now what should happen when a user clicks this preview button? Here we will put display style is equal to, again, ternary operator. If display style is equal to, if it is equal to block, then what it should apply? It should apply none. If it is none, then it should apply block. That means it should change to display block and display none. That means now what happens is, by default, it will be like this. Hide preview, it will be hidden. And show preview, it will be displayed. Button text is changing and the image is showing and hiding. That means we are toggling the details and we are displaying the details. We can change the button text. We can change the display style. That both we have to handle as combination, right? That you have to manage by using simple conditions like this. These are very common everywhere. Toggling is very common everywhere. For example, this is related to button. That means many times this is important because later you can do a lot of things. Generally, in many interviews, they give these toggle tasks regularly. They will say that, suppose we have a table. So in the table, they will give price. They will say that design a sort button here. That means a button like this. Put a sort button here. So usually sort button, suppose this is sort ascending. That means lowest price to highest. Now when I click this button again, then it should reverse and display. That means what it should do? It should display in descending order. Again, click the same button. It should display in ascending order. This is a challenging one. Already, that's not a great challenging one because you already learned array sorting. When you learned array sorting, now when you learn toggle and array sorting, it is easy. You learned how to toggle and you learned how to sort and reverse in arrays. Now, if you can try this example, that's great. Why? Because this is what regularly asked in real world requirements. Design sorting option with one button. That means, remember, currently this button symbol is like this. Understood the point? Button symbol is like this. So here we will display price like 3,000, 6,000, so like 7,000, like 9,000, like this. Now what should happen when they click the button? That button automatically should change to like this. Button is same, only the button icon should change like this. Button icon should change like this and this values should display like this. How? 9,000, 7,000, 6,000, 3,000, like this, they should change. Again, click that button. Then again, it should toggle to 3,000, 6,000 and all. So that means you have to collect an array. We have to sort and display the contents depending on the button clicks. So this is your challenging task. All right. Can you try this? Right? Try. Don't think that, sir, you are doing small tasks and giving big task to us. If I do big task and give small task to you, no use. Because I can do any big task. Right? I can do any big task at any level. That it is not test for me, it is test for you. So if I give you big tasks and I do small tasks, that means I am not taking my convenience, right? I am not simplifying my work. I am giving you a complex task, means I am testing your levels maximum, because if you can't do this, you can't crack interviews 100%. If you can't do such tasks, you cannot crack interviews, because everywhere these kind of tasks are given. Even for experienced people, remember, after selecting, that means they select you and they give you a job. You started attending the job, and before they put you in project, they will give you some tasks and they will say that design and show us, because the project manager have to talk to you and put you in project. He will decide in which area of project he have to keep you. For that, he will test you with various skills. He will say that do these things and bring to me, I will see. Then you have to do the task and take to him. By seeing that, he will decide whether to put you in project or kick you out. That means after you taken 2 months of salary, you may be kicked out of the company, because project manager is not satisfied with your work. It will happen regularly. It regularly happens. Don't think that you got a job means permanent. It's not government job. That means it is permanent. After 40 years, you will retire. No. Next day, you will be there or not, you will not be sure. That means every day, go to your laptop, open and see mail, safe or not. That's it. That is the daily task of software engineer. Do you know these days? That means daily open your laptop, pray to God and see the mails. You are terminated or still there? If still there, then continue. Right? You are not sure. That is the reason you must be very careful in practical approach. Right? Because after going into company, we have seen many people came out of the job roles because they are unable to fit into that environment. Unable to do the task, the work given to them. So lot of complicated, because once you are working there in the company, so there everybody will be monitoring you, everybody will be watching you. You cannot take help after you went there. You have to be on your own. Until job comes, you can take help of so many people. Right? Some interview job task is given, you ask your friend to do it, he will do and give it to you, and you can submit saying that it is my task. Right? Nobody cares for that. But once you are into company, you are on your own. That's the reason these kind of tasks you have to try. What I am giving in the class, if you can do, that's easy to handle. I hope you understood the point. What to design, you try to design this, try to design. These kind of interactions are used with ternary operator. Here our main intention to use what kind of operator? Ternary operator. See, I will show one more option here. Means not only buttons, we generally use this for, this is button. Okay, let's put a example here. So design toggle button, toggle button with functionality. This is example for toggle button. Now sometimes not button, actually sometimes here they give a checkbox. So you see, div, I will put a class margin top 2, And here input type is equal to checkbox. Checkbox, and important here I will create as form switch, and here I will put a label. So span, and here I will keep this one as class form check input. Now in this span here, okay, you see this is the checkbox now. So, and form switch, form check input. Now where is this switch? Anything we missed? A form switch. Okay, and form check input. Form check input. So here why it is not displaying Bootstrap is correctly there. Bootstrap CSS is there. Acha, two classes are there, huh? Right? So form switch. Okay. Now it will be like this. Now here we are turning on and off the switch. Now what should happen on and off this switch? On and off of that particular switch, right? So this text should change. That means inside the span, the text should change. The span ID. So the span ID I am defining here. The span ID I will give as a check text. So I will put the same logic here. What is the check text here? I will put the same button text as check text. Document dot get element by ID, check text dot inner HTML. We'll use button text. It will be hide preview. Now when I click on this, it should be show preview, hide preview. It should toggle it. That means when I turn on and off, this should change the text. Then which event you will write for this? What is the event you have to write? We have to write the event on change. We have to write the event on change. On change, you have to write a condition if checked. If checked, then change to show preview. If unchecked, change to hide preview. Similar things you have to try for other controls also. These kind of examples I will give in later stage also. I'm just showing you that you can use a button, you can use this checkboxes, because for suppose separately I will give checkbox. How to define that and use it? Let's see, so that you can understand, right? So the intention is to understand. The main intention is to understand and to work with ternary operators. I will write here another example for you. Ternary.html. Okay, let's put doc type HTML head title. This is checkbox, and link relation, style sheet, and href, and node modules, bootstrap dist css, bootstrap.css, and yeah, in the body section we have container fluid. Yeah, and here we need to define this checkbox I am giving. So we have a checkbox here, right? I will just give you another same point actually. So here the checkbox will have usually for checkboxes we use label, and for that we use a class called form check label, form check label, and the id is checkbox text. Checkbox text is the id, right? Now this is checkbox text, okay, and this is by default not checked. If it is not checked, then we will write a condition for this checkbox. First, we will put a script and function body load, and here we are displaying same body on load, body load. By default, we will display here as CB text. That means checkbox text is equal to, for example, I am saying like available. So out of stock, out of stock. That is the default option I am giving. Or we will say the text as no. That means this is the status related to stock. This is the status related to stock. That means stock. And I am giving a checkbox like this here. So above that, right. So here I am giving stock and I am saying giving a checkbox. Here stock available or not. Here no is there. And we will put here a simple function that is toggle. And in the toggle function, what we will do? So we will access document dot get element by id checkbox text dot inner html is equal to cb text. That means on body load we will access the toggle. That means it will display no. And when I turn on this, it should say yes. Turn off this, again it should say no. That means we need to change the text for that particular label. Then what should happen here? We have to write a function checkbox changed. So checkbox changed. Here we have to write checkbox changed. That means on change checkbox changed. Checkbox changed is the function, it will fire up. Now here what we have to do is we need to verify whether checkbox checked or not. We have to verify this checkbox checked or not. Then how to access this checkbox? We have to need an ID for it. That is some stock. We will access the checkbox here. Document dot get element by ID. What is it? Stock. This stock refers to checkbox. That means now we need to write a condition here. What is the condition? So condition depends on whether it is checked or not. So here we will use CB text. That means checkbox text. What is the condition? If stock dot what checked, if checkbox is checked, then what should be the text? The text should be yes. Otherwise the text should be no. This time not depending on previous value, this time depending on whether it is checked or not. Previously what we are doing in our previous example, we are verifying what is the previous text. Previous text is hide preview, then change it to show preview. Depending on text we are verifying, but now depending on whether it is checked or not, we are verifying. Whether it is checked or not, we are verifying. So here, if it is checked, then yes. If not, no. Then automatically one more functionality we have to use here. What is it? Toggle. Now Generally, when you click on this, it will be yes. And when you click on this, it will be no. That means it will be changing to yes and no. That means here itself you can display not just yes, no. By default here stock. So out of stock. And here we have to say checked, then it should display available. Then here it should say out of stock. By default, it is out of stock and it says available. And you can say out of stock or available. You can change the text dynamically. Every time it is not depending on text, depending on various other aspects, we use it. These kind of toggles are very regular in websites, right? If it is an ordinary checkbox, also same. That means only the point. Don't use a form switch for this. Then what will happen? It will be like this. You select the checkbox, then available. You remove the checkbox, then it is out of stock. Right? Just we are using that form switch, right? That makes it selectable and deselectable. You can show and hide the content. This is another important element. These kind of functionalities are very common. So this is another example. I will give here toggle checkbox. For toggle checkbox, this is an example. So toggle buttons, toggle checkboxes. So this ternary operator is very much used. We discussed all this under one special operator, that is ternary. Without ternary operator also we can do. Without ternary operator, we will write a condition here. That means without using ternary operator, how to handle this? Without using ternary operator, how to handle this? I will put it comment, / comment. Now that will be not taken to compile. Then we have to write like this. If stock dot checked, if stock dot checked CB text is equal to available. So otherwise else CB text is equal to out of stock. Both are same. But you don't need to write that much lengthy logic. That means both are same here. It is working same. But you don't need to write much such lengthy logic. We can just define by using this functionality, ternary operator. So this is example here. Yeah. So this is the example here. That means without ternary operator, this is how we define actually. Same one, small logic will change there, right, to handle it. This is first important special operator. We have a special operator called ternary. Next important in the operators, in special operators, we have a delete operator. Delete operator. Already we learned about it. In map concept, I told you. Delete operator. So it is a special operator. Special operator used to delete. It is a special operator used to delete any specific property. Any specific property from object. You cannot delete properties of built-in objects. We cannot delete properties of built-in objects because built-in objects are read-only properties. You cannot delete them. For example, suppose we have delete math.py. Math.py, math is a object, pi is a property which returns the pi value. That is a math object. So not only math object, suppose we have delete, so we have array dot length. This is also a property. These two are invalid. This is invalid, this is invalid. Why? Because array, math, these are built-in objects. These are built-in objects. Right? If there are built-in objects, then you cannot delete them. You can delete only the properties of custom objects. You created an object with a property, you can delete it. So you cannot delete the properties of other objects. For example, see, so delete, and here I am writing a script, and where product, already I showed you, name is some TV, and price, some price, and we are printing document dot write. So name is equal to whatever the product name is, and the price is equal to whatever the price is. Name and price are the properties, and these two properties are printed here. I want to delete this price, then you can simply use delete operator. So delete product dot price. That means the price is deleted, then it says undefined. We can delete any property, because sometimes when you are working with APIs, so many properties will come. We don't want any specific property. Then you can delete the property and you can use it. So if you don't, if you try to delete the properties of built-in object, for example, you see, I am writing in the next line. So here, math.py. Math.py, it returns the pi value. And before printing it, I am deleting math.py property. I am deleting, but still it will be working fine. Why? Because it is a read-only property. You cannot delete them. These properties are built-in. You cannot delete. You can delete only the properties of the objects that are custom created, we created. For that, we can make it as this. Actually, in later stages, in OOP concepts and all, you will learn, you can also create a read-only property, so that that property cannot be deleted. You can only use it. For that, you need to learn classes and other OOP concepts. We can do that. So technically, what is delete operator? So syntactically, we have to define delete object name dot property name. Object name and property name. So example is this. Example is this small example I will give here. So this is not a valid operation. This is not a valid operation because it is a read-only property and you cannot delete it. That is delete. Now we have some more special operators with some different examples that we'll see in our next session, right? Tomorrow we will finish operators, right? And tomorrow we will go into statements. Now you will get more bigger examples, right? How to handle and work with them. Tomorrow we'll see, right? Try those two tasks and submit. Two tasks I given. Sorting task also try. That is good. Okay, right.